Hey, everybody. Welcome to Sunday night. Paul Adams, calling from the Philippines. Rob Fortney.
Good evening, people.
Chiang Mai, Thailand.
Philippines.
Philippines is calling on the line. It's Philippines and Thailand and America. Broadcasting live all over the world. The Sunday night hangout. Glad to have you guys here if you're here. If you're not, then I guess we're not glad you're here.
Yeah, shout if you're not here.
Shout if you're not here. We need to know if you're not in the house. My chat is missing. There we go. It's loading now. If you could give me a big yeehaw. Good morning, Florence. It is morning here. You give me a big yeehaw if you're in the house and you can hear us. Video, audio. You can see my. But I love these coral shirts. Coral looks good on me. One of my good colors. Paul, you're supposed to say, "Oh yes, you look good in that color."
Yeah, you look as handsome as ever in that. That really suits you. Suits your skin tones. Brings out the best in your cheeks.
Exactly. What kind of friend are you? I was fishing for a compliment. Like I'd like to be able to take a hug.
Yeah, the fishing rod with a carrot on front. Yeah.
You just decided.
You know, I'll tell you something now. I was browsing through some of our previous webinars and on YouTube, the public ones, and there's one there where you've got either that shirt on or something similar, and it does. You do look good in that. You do look good.
Exactly. I'm gonna start wearing it all the time.
Yeah.
With coral. This will just be my online shirt. I'd be like going to work. When I go online, I put the coral shirt on.
Yeah.
At least, hey, listen, let me tell you this. There are no clothes. Like, I got close last night to finding some clothes that actually fit me in Thailand. I was outsourcing last night. That's what I was doing. I was out to about 11 o'clock at the Sunday night market. And the Sunday night market is full of products that people are making, handcrafted goods that they're making in Thailand. And found some pretty cool stuff. Found a burl wood wine bottle holders. So they're carved out of burl wood and they have a hole in the side, and then this kind of comes down like that, and you put the wine bottle in there like that. That looks like other stuff, but you put the wine bottle in there and it sits straight across.
It just balances. Yeah.
And balances. Looks great.
That's good. We haven't got anything like that where I live. We're in a city outside of Manila. We went on a tour over the weekend and found out some facts. We're 1,500 feet above sea level, so we're up the top of a mountain. But it's just basically not a lot going on. Hey, look at that Thai elephant.
All right, so
that's cool. I like that.
This is an original piece of artwork, and it's made on, they make the paper. They actually make the paper.
Really? Look at that.
And guess where I'm thinking Amazon, Craft, and Etsy. I'm gonna sell those, but they have other things besides the elephants. But anyway, I think I'm gonna sell some of those. At least I'm gonna put together about 50 of them and send them over and see what happens.
Well, exactly. You can test them out, can't you?
Right. Well, why not?
Test product. Yeah.
You know, I've had that conversation with you half a dozen times.
Yeah. But like I say, I'm in the wrong area at the moment. If I was down in the province, what we call the province, you know, it's like out in the sticks a little bit, that'd be cool. Lost your sound, Rob. Voila.
Hello, I'm back.
Yeah, that's good now. That's
so
good.
I'm looking for ways to make money while I'm here is my point. So that's why I was out there. And they had some really cool. The thing I like the most is they have these gorgeous quilted bed covers, come over, and they were amazing. Just imagine and very vivid colors and stuff. And they were bed covers, you cover your bed. And they were, they were actually doing the yarn thing or whatever. They made them, whatever that thing is.
Brilliant.
And then some of them were made from where they patchworked them together.
Yep. So make little squares to start with, then sew all those squares together. Brilliant.
A real deal quilt out of super bright fabrics and stuff. Anyway, I could buy and this woman's there and she's handmade, she handmade them herself. And so anyway, my thought process is I'm going to get me about a half a dozen of those and see what happens.
Makes sense.
I may even put them up.
As you say, while you're out there. Go ahead.
I may put them up on eBay and just see whether or not I can sell them there first, do a little trial test. And then I got all that time to deliver them. Yeah. Anyway, that was my sourcing story from last night. So we're going to get to, by the way, I don't know why I've been searching Amadata, and I've got brand new access, and Amadata is up to 600,000 products now in it. It was figuring around 300. And they've got the price down to $9.95 now, so it's not crazy expensive as it was, it seems. So anyway, I don't know that I'm going to get it up and going today, but next Sunday I'll have Amadata. We'll be able to search. But we've got quite a few loaded today, don't we, Paul?
I've got over 10,000 points loaded at the moment.
All right, so we're gonna, and this is what I suggest. So today we're gonna spend some time, and again, it's we kind of go through, and we're gonna go through just like we normally do, and kind of come up with some ways. Search some data, and we're going to try to get find some ways we get products just like we do any other time. So that's what we do every Sunday night. It's very casual, laid back. We're not trying to be. That's why we're talking about silly stuff. If you want to share, you want to come on screen and ask a question, you want to ask it in the chat box, go ahead. So. You guys are more than welcome to participate as much as you want. You got stories to tell about finding products. Got any tips for finding products? We'd love to hear about it. Like I said, this is kind of a laid back, Sunday night, grab yourself a cup of tea, or, if you're Paul, he probably drinks tea. He's British. He's going to get
I do actually, yeah. I have one coffee a day and the rest is tea.
Really?
Yeah.
You're gonna get yourself a spot of tea.
A nice cup of tea in the morning.
Tea. Well, the only place you can you can't buy there's no Keurig here that I can find. I cannot find a Keurig. So I'm drinking horrible freeze dried coffee. It's just ridiculous. Coffee is not meant to be freeze dried. It just is not.
Yeah, so, over here it's the big thing is a 3-in-1, and then they add that, then they add some more sugar in that,
Yeah. That's exactly what they sell here. The same stuff. I've got 3-in-1 sitting right in there now, and the problem is that it's got as much sugar as a damn Coca-Cola. By the time you're done, it's I'm not doing this. So anyway, I've had to ban that from my life because it's 3-in-1. Sugar, it's 3-in-1. Sugar, and coffee, basically.
Yeah. Good luck on the rest. Over here in the Philippines, they've got a sweet tooth. Yeah, everything comes sweet. When you do spaghetti, when you got spaghetti sauce, it's sweet spaghetti sauce. The hot dogs, they're sweet hot dogs. I can't get my head around it. I still can't after all of these years. Everything's so sweet, and everyone's walking around with no teeth, and I wonder why.
So basically on Sundays, what we do is we just look for products. Tonight we're gonna go through last week, and we're just gonna do the process in which we use. We may get a little crazy a couple times and do some stuff that's not on the list. We're gonna start out the way we always start out. Now, if you own AmaSuite, what I suggest is, and we're gonna go through Product Inspector a little bit tonight too, just to see what we can find there. But if you own AmaSuite, the way I suggest that you do it is because AmaSuite takes a minute to download all your data. So if you're downloading all your data, you gotta do that one time and then come back and search at another time. So if you've got a bunch of data, you have to go out and you have to get it. And that's why Amazon takes a little longer than any of the other software programs, because it's doing something completely different. AmaSuite searches the entire database that Amazon has, all the products they sell, everything. So that's the difference between what AmaSuite and Jungle Scout and Asinspector does. Those guys just go out and it searches the products which you tell it to. AmaSuite goes in and searches all the products. So how I suggest you do it is you get up in the morning before you go to work, and you go in there and Paul will show you how we add categories and we add product, and you do that till you get about 2,000 products in there. So what is that, Paul? About 20 pages? 20 pages of 100.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
you have to go through 20 top 100s and you load them 20, go, and then you get about 2,000 to 2,500 products. I then suggest you press go and let it start searching all the data and get all the data. And when you come home from work, it'll be done. So that's the kind of goal of how I suggest you do it. And then I suggest you do it and do 2,500 one day, and then go to bed every night and do another one, 2,500, and get as many of these files that you can have, and then download them all at one time. And then you can search a huge database, and you can search it instantly. It becomes basically just it becomes a file. And if any of you guys are wondering what AmaData is, it's that, except they've downloaded 600,000 of them. So it's the same thing that you would do manually, except with AmaData, they're just going out and every week they're adding new products. So that's the difference, so that you can search instantaneously instead of just searching and waiting for the data to be pulled. So let's start out with AmaSuite.
Let me go ahead and share my screen.
All right, but you know, this doesn't do as well because these lines are so small. Now, it doesn't matter so much about the lines in there. I mean, Paul can maybe zoom in a little bit, but I don't think you can zoom in much.
Well, we tried that, didn't we? Because this is a standalone program. Doing the Control Plus doesn't seem to work.
Right, it won't.
No, it's not. So it's a little bit irrelevant with respect to what you can see on the screen at the moment. Let's go through the process. But hopefully down the bottom left-hand side here, you'll be able to see the quantity of data points I've got, which is 10,197. And that has come from exactly what Rob was saying. Get up in the morning, search for a few thousand, come back later on, search for another few thousand, and basically what I've done there is loaded about 4 or 5 files into this one search. Okay, so and I'll show you how to do that later on. I'll show you how to actually load the data, save the data, and pull it back out from the saved file back into the Amazon Top 100. Okay, so as you can see here, going across the top categories, we've got the categories, you've got the ID, the product, and what I've done today is basically stuck to beauty, there or thereabouts. As we can scroll down here, I'm just about seeing beauty, not given, beauty. So most of these are from the beauty category, but it's not the top category. These will be sub categories. So you drill down maybe 2, preferably 3 or more layers deep.
Paul, can you show me that? Actually, let me show everybody what I got.
Yeah, like I said, I don't want to. If you've got it there, just show how you do that.
Find it. There it is. All right, so there's my. How's that look?
Can everybody see that? I can see it. I just need to make sure everybody else can see it.
So, make sure everybody's catching up. It says I'm sharing, so I should be. All right, so
Yeah.
These real simple things that people get caught up in, because if you select the wrong button and do this wrong, it'll get you caught up. So unless you're in the UK, you're going to go to Amazon.com. You could do hot new. You could do any of these because all you're doing is adding data points. So let's go with hot new releases. I don't do that a lot in these, so let's just show people how it goes. Now you can quick select. I suggest you just ignore this, but you can do it in quick select and then subcategory and then come under. So these are all the subcategories. You talked about subcategories, and you could just go appliances, washers, and dryers, right? I would much rather manually go in, and this is the hack that I originally came up with, which is I could manually select them. So I'd go into categories, and then, so you see how that process worked. We went through Amazon, hot new releases, manual select, and categories. So it's that simple, nothing else. So I hit 3 buttons, this one, this one, this one, and then I press the categories, which then hops you over into Amazon. Okay. So somehow we're in washers and dryers. Okay. But what we're talking about is that when you get up in the morning, you're going to go through, when you get here and you're going to do this, you're going to go add that one. So it added that one to Amazon Suite. So when you add, you go down here at the bottom, you press add, it adds those top 100 in washers and dryers in there. Well, now we want to go in all-in-ones. So we go down and we drill down into that, all-in-ones, add. And then we went to washers. And we added that one. And we go to dryers. And you're down here at the bottom right, it says plus, and I'm just adding them. Stacked washers and dryers. Well, there's no hot new releases in those kind of dryers. And then you can go back and go into and you go over here and you go to refrigerators. Now sometimes people don't add these, and you go into wine cellars. And, so I would suggest you do it random. Like I suggest you start out and go wine cellars and then go all the way down. Let's deal and start here, built-in wine cellars. And then freestanding wine cellars. And then sometimes you'll get in there and there'll be 2 more after freestanding. And then furniture style wine. All right, and then small wine cellars. And so go down that hole and you're just adding them. So I would, we continue all the way down and I would add and add and add. Now this is what you're doing in the morning or in the evening before you go to bed. So I've now went through and I went through this whole wine process, all the way down. And so now what I would do is I'd go back in and I would pull the data. So when you say you're done pulling data, you go over here and you press done. And so now here you are with all your data points in here, right? Now when you're going to bed, I would suggest you get all of the data. Extract all data. It says down here at the bottom, you'll see. I'm sorry, you got to go here. Oh, where's the click? Where's the ticket? Where's the, oh, there it is. You see right here, I was looking for this button and I couldn't find it. So right here, you tick this. Now, if you're doing it live, I tell you to do it a different way. If you're doing it live, you need to pull all these, and then that's where we filter out some things. But if you get the data first, and I suggest you get the data first, instead of doing it live, it takes too long for you to sit there and wait, because you got to think, Asinspector goes out and it looks at one product and analyzes that product, pulls all the data in. And so each time it searches for a product, it takes 2 or 3 seconds. Well, if you're searching for thousands of products times 2 or 3 seconds, it doesn't matter. It still adds up to way longer than you want to mess with. So that's why I suggest you pull the data first. So, and if you want to pull it all at one time and not filter it pre-doing it, you're going to say extract more data, and then you're going to do it and press go. And so now if you look here at the bottom, it's going and it's extracted 60 pages worth of stuff. So that's the process of how I would look for products, at least. So that gets you through adding all the products in here, okay? All right, so then what Paul has done is he's went through and he's now got all this data down here, which would have added it all up down here. So you go from there, Paul.
Okay. Right, hopefully you can see my screen again. Is that me? Yeah, this looks like it. So I went through exactly that same process. Well, in fact, some of this information, the guys within our bootcamp, collectively we pulled some of this information together, and it's now available within our group for people to download. But basically, we've got 10,000 loaded. Here's 10,197 line items, individual components. So which is obviously going to be a lot to go through. So what we do first is apply some filters. Down on the bottom right-hand corner here, we've got some filters. So just pull that up and we start to apply the filters. Yes, sorry, Rocco.
Well, remember, I've kind of changed my way in which I do this process. Before, and it's the same, but before what we did was I tried to search live all the time. Like, well, I'm sitting down to search. And what happens is if you continue to search live, it just takes too long. And it's frustrating because you're ready and anxious to do something. You're doing it and just sitting there coming data. So what we did before we went and got the more data, so Asinspector pulls in part of the data, which is the quickest first, pulls in like half of it. Doesn't pull in main rank. It doesn't pull in, several weight. It doesn't pull in who ships by it. It doesn't pull all that data the first time you do it. When you press this green button up there at the top, it just pulls in that basic data. Once it does all that, if you want to get more data, you press down here, get more data. You don't press that click button over there. So when you press that get more data button, it pulls up all this data, but doesn't pull it all up completely. So if you want to get more, you have to do it. Well, what we taught prior was go in and filter out this list so you didn't have to pull so much data in and take so much time to pull that data in and wait. We kind of eliminated some of it you didn't have to pull because let's say so what we would do is we would just only search for the products in our price range we wanted, and then we would search them by the amount of reviews that they have. So we would filter out a lot of the products that we didn't have to get more data on them, and it just saves some time. But now I suggest you don't do that. I suggest you go pull the data, get all the data, and then come back to it and search then. But don't search and look for product until you have you know, a substantial amount, and I suggest over 10,000 to start looking. So anyway, that's the theory on that.
Which is good, solid, and sound.
Well, I am the source on the internet for good sound advice.
Look at the dictionary, so your face. Okay, right, so let's start to apply some filters, and let's look at the basic ones to start with. We always go to sale price to start with. And what we're doing here is guidelines. There's nothing set in stone. You know, we can adjust this and adjust this. And we done one last week where we went some crazy filters and we found some really good products. And we can try and do that again today. But the first filter I like to put on there is sale price greater than. What we tend to do is around, what we recommend is about $17, $15 to $17, something like this. Because anything lower than that, you're going to be hard pushed to make any real profit from your product. So if you're selling a product for $6, $7, by the time you've actually physically paid for that product, you've shipped that product, Amazon have taken their percentage out of it, you're left with not a lot of money. Okay, so if we increase that minimum price, as in greater than, you got a good chance of making a few bucks per sale. Okay, so I'm going to put 17 in today. Like I say, these are guidelines, nothing set in stone. Everything can change. So let's add another filter. And again, I want to go sale price. The reason I'm doing this is one that is less than. And over here, let's add in $50. Okay, because again, this can come up, this can come down, but anything more than $50, you're obviously going to be increasing your spend on purchasing inventory. Okay, you can increase this. Now, this is basically for the first few orders. You know, once you got up and running, once you got more established, once you got the cash flow coming in, you can increase that. And with a higher priced product, there's obviously more profit to be had. That's about right, isn't it, Rob?
More profit, and I mean, the biggest concern there is if you're selling a $40 product, then you know, I mean, let's say it's a shirt that's going to cost $12 to $15. Let's say it costs $10 or $12 to get it here. Well, you know, I mean, if you order 100 of them, you know, and you know, it's cost times 10, 100 times 10, you know, you're spending a lot of money to get your product in. So that's the problem. So you have to kind of maintain that thought process of how much money do I want to spend. If I get 1,000 pieces, it's $10,000. Well, you know, if you don't have that ability to be able to buy, you know, enough pieces of it, then, you know, that's where you have to really debate what the sale price of your product is. And so that's why right there, if you look, you know, I mean, you can change that. So if you want to be in between a specific number. Now, there's sometimes when you could search, let's say we search products from $3 to $10, and that's all we search. Now, well, Rob, you just told us not to search products that low. Well, I told you not to search for products that low that you think you're going to sell. Now, in the sense that what I'm saying is that if you search products that low, you need to start looking at bundling that product with another product or doing multiples of that product that other people aren't doing. And I've decided I'm not a huge fan sometimes. If people are buying the 12-ounce version and it's the #1 selling and the #2 and the #8 seller, and there are some other sellers in there, but the guys that selling 12s are selling the most, and all of a sudden you're going to sell a 36. That doesn't necessarily mean success for you either. That doesn't mean all of a sudden you're going to jump out of the crowd, because people like to buy smaller sizes. I don't know why. You know, people could go to Sam's Club every week and buy the big version of stuff. I mean, why don't you have a gallon jug of peanut butter in your house? You know, so just one of those things that I've observed, and you know, and I like the idea of bundling. I do, but like I just see over and over again, when you get into that higher number, all of a sudden there's an issue with the sales. I just don't see them selling a lot when you look. And that doesn't mean you couldn't siphon off sales and still do well, but don't necessarily think if you take a product that they got 12 and you're going to sell 36, even if you have an attractive price, doesn't mean the buyers want that. And so you have to be very cautious of what you think, what buyers want. If buyers are already in the market and you can look at the market and the stuff that's in there, then you already know that the buyer wants this. And just because you're going to add something else doesn't mean that, they're going to necessarily want the 36 pack. So that's just a side note. So go ahead and keep searching, Paul.
Okay. But the next filter I like to apply is main rank. Okay, so we'll add the main rank in there. And again, this is a big one that you can adjust. But we're going to go less than, and I'm going to put in 15,000. Okay, so that's any product with a main rank listing that's under 15,000 BSR. Okay, so let's carry on adding some more filters. Let's look at reviews. Again, I don't want too many reviews, because more reviews is more competition, or the more established that particular seller is within their marketplace. So we'll go less than, and I'm going to put in 300. Again, we can come back and adjust these later on. I want to add one more. I want to go weight. I don't want to be shipping big heavy items around, because that just costs money. Also, the bigger items cost you sort of storage fees within Amazon itself. So I'm going to go, what we normally do is less than 2 pounds, assuming that this is the US market. If you're in the UK, you talk about kilos. But here we're going to go 2 pounds, less than 2 pounds. Okay, right, so let's recap what we've got. We've got the sale price greater than 17 but less than 50. We've got the main rank less than 15,000. Reviews, I'm looking for anything that's got less than 300 reviews and a weight that's less than 2 pounds. Okay, so I think they're the main items that I'm interested in filtering at this stage. So if we just go done or apply, now you check the number down here, we've got 10,197. Hopefully that's going to come down somewhat. Right, so it's instantly come down to 232 items. So we've filtered out everything that is outside that criteria. Right, we've filtered out over 10,000 items or thereabouts. Okay, so instantly, because you could not do that manually. You just could not do that manually. It would just take you forever, and you just haven't got time to do that. It's just nuts.
Forever would be another term. You don't have enough time to do that, what we just did in a year.
Yep.
To look at 10,000, I mean, that's 300 a day. It would take you forever. So
yeah,
that's a big jump. Now, that's where those things that you learn as you guys use this software is that's why I said you need 10,000, because if you're going to drill down and you're going to be very specific on the kind of products that you want and the amount that you're going to search for and keep your numbers down, you can see you can filter too much. And that only means you're filtering too much because your parameters are so tight that there's no products that meet that. There's no products that meet all 5 of those data figures that you want. So if you do that, then you're going to end up with no products. So that's why I suggest you have 10,000, because if you had 1,000, right now you might have 7. And so that's where I don't think you should be doing live searches anymore, which is I'm going to go pull the data and then wait and then do it all at once. So anyway, that's my crazy.
No, that's cool. Right, so we've got 232. Now, in my opinion, that's still probably too many to search through. If we go and have a look. So we can adjust the filters. so that we can filter out a little bit more, so we come down to around 100 products. So 100 products we can have a search through, or thereabouts. So I want to keep the price the same. Let's change the main rank. Let's bring that to 12,000. See what happens. We just apply that again. So we're at 232. We've applied that. Let's come to 207. So we've got rid of a handful more. Let's keep on bringing that down. Let's bring that down to 10,000. See what happens. Just apply. You see what I mean with respect to when you start out, these are guidelines. And once you've got your filtered list, and then you can start to refine the numbers. Okay, so 10,000, that's brought us down under 200, so 183. Let's look at the reviews. I want to bring the reviews down to 200. Okay, apply that. Let's see what difference adds. Again, just a handful, 157. Let's bring the main rank down. I don't know, something crazy, 7,000. It might be too much, but 157 down to 120. So we're getting close to a manageable amount to have a search through. Let's do one more. Let's bring that reviews down to 150. Apply. So we're at 120 now. 98. Okay, so I think that's a manageable amount. Now look at the criteria that we've actually got now. All right, we've got a sale price that's more than 17, but less than 50. The main rank is less than 7,000, with the reviews of less than 150, with a weight of less than two pounds. Okay, so that's quite a nice criteria. If your product fits within that criteria, you know, that's a nice little area to be in. Okay, right, so I'll just minimize those filters for the moment. Let's pop that over there, if I can drag it. Okay, right, so the next thing to do is we've got 3 radio buttons down the bottom. The middle one says preview. So if we hit that, that's going to bring up an independent HTML interactive file with all of the search results that we found. Okay, now here, because we're in beauty, we're going to see a lot of different products. Right, there's a criteria now that we should be looking at, which is products to avoid. Now, Rob, you've got a pretty good description on products to avoid. Do you want to tell us about that?
So products to avoid. Now, when I say products to avoid, it doesn't mean you can't ever mess with them. We're talking about if you're in your first three products that you're searching. So in the first 3 products, what I want to do is I want to try to eliminate as much risk as I possibly can, is what my goal would be. And that's how I approach the business, which is, okay, I don't need something that I can't see. I'm going to try to avoid a problem before I get there, because let's assume you have $3,000 to start your business. Well, if you make a mistake and you get your money taken from you, I got a client yesterday, getting his first product. I mean, has done a great amount of work. The product looks amazing. He was in the order process, and you know, I'm like, well, you need to get an inspection. And so we got an inspection, a great inspection company. Gave him a 20-page report, video, pictures of his stuff, and he paid $100, $100 for a 20-page report where somebody actually went to the factory and looked at his product. Okay, so they looked at his product, they touched it. Well, everything was fine, but it was made out of a natural. It was made out of a natural product, in the sense that it was made out of wood. And something in the wood on some of the things that he had done had left like a dark mark where it had turned like brown. So the inspectors caught that. And so he was able to go back and get, I don't know, he had probably 20 pieces, 25 pieces of his stuff, and if it cost $12 a piece, which they were, so now, because his product's going to sell for $65. So, all of a sudden he had, you think 25 pieces, that's quite a bit of money for 25 times 12, that number gets quickly high dollar. And, if you got $3,000, well, now the question is, you just lost $600 or $700 worth of product that you can't sell. So he avoided that by $100 inspection. So anyway, again, I suggest you have inspection. So, but how that relates to what we're talking about is you can't afford to make an error. And so my deal is how can I figure out how to eliminate as many of those big holes in the ground and avoid them? And you need to do that too. And that'll relieve some of your fear about doing this, is to take, okay, well, look, what's the best educated guess I can possibly make? Because no matter what you get on Amazon, it's going to be a guess. Okay, so if you're going to make a guess, then let's try to figure out the best way to get a guess in, and guess the right way, and guess with the most the easiest things to see in the horizon, and eliminate them off your list. So when we say products to avoid, we're talking about things like, well, do you want to have a liquid product the first time? If you have a liquid product, what if, I don't know if any of you guys have experienced, I call it the Chinese bad UPS guy. You've seen those videos where the UPS guy's just throwing stuff over a building. Well, I have seen it, as well as there's videos of it, of these guys at a plane, and they're tossing the stuff. The guy's he's all pissed off at his girlfriend or something, and he's throwing boxes off the thing like just as quick as he can. Well, if you got a liquid product and they're tossing your stuff off the conveyor belt to get on the plane here, and it starts breaking and it starts leaking, and what if it leaks on all your products? Now all your products are leaked. So avoid liquid products up front. Just it's me trying to say, okay, what are products that might have a problem? What if you get a product that has 75 pieces to it, and you get there and every single product is missing 3 pieces? Well, now all of a sudden you got everybody mad because they don't get the 3 component pieces, or 1. What if it's only 1 piece and you got a dozen pieces? I don't like stuff with lots of pieces. Also, what if you got lots of pieces, but you're also you got a product that's really hard to work with? You got to read the directions, and you got to push this, do that, and turn it around, and and it's hard to it's not very simple to operate. So if you're using something that's difficult to use, then now what? So you've got to be able to put that in the puzzle. Electronics up front. I'm not saying you have to avoid that. I'm saying what is your risk level that you're willing to take? So if you're willing to take some risk, then you might want to look at an electronic product. But the problem is what if you get a batch of bad electronics and they don't work, or they work for a week and all break? And all of a sudden you're out of business because Amazon's like, no, you're a new seller. You got 8 complaints in the last week. We're done. So that's the stuff we try to avoid. So we try to take things off the table that we might have a problem with. So dangerous chemicals, any name brand product. Okay, if you have a name brand product, you are 99.9%, 99% gonna have a problem. So, and by the way, so if you want an inspection, this inspection costs $100 because you're using Alibaba inspectors. Now there's tons and tons of inspectors out there, and I'm actually gonna, I don't have a problem getting this, the inspector that we used for you. So we can do.
My advice there is have a look at the location of your supplier, and then select an inspection company that is close to your supplier. Otherwise, you'll be paying travel fees on top of their standard service fees.
Right. So I'm telling you, if you go to Alibaba inspection.
I just put that in there. I didn't put the link, but I just gave instructions on how to get there.
Hey, so my client, he's talking. He's telling me, so he's talking to the inspector. He's talking to a supplier on the phone, and they're fixing his problems. They're working with him to fix his watches and such. And he said they refer to the inspector as the Alibaba. That's his name. So your Alibaba. They don't say anything else. They just saw the Alibaba. The Alibaba says that, blah blah blah. The Alibaba. So. Hey, so that's one of the things that I'm starting this week is because you see all these bad spellings on signs and T-shirts with the wrong spelling on them and just odd phrases and stuff. So I'm going to start taking pictures of those. Have a file of all the funny, crazy stuff you see out there.
Right. Yeah, some of the stuff you see in China it's just brilliant, absolutely brilliant because the translation's so bad.
Yes. So if you look at what you got here, so now what you've done, and this is my favorite document in AnimaSuite. So now what you've got here is you've got this document that has all these products that match the criteria in which you asked it to go get. Now, what you can do, what I suggest you do then is that if you've done your parameters, now you save this file as the way it is. Once you save it, you can go back to it anytime. You save this you save it as a file, and then you can go back and interact with this file anytime you want. So then what I would do is I would name the file, I would put words. I would go reviews. I would put R dot, 27 R27 dot, and then I would do, main rank. I'd do MR, 7,000, and so I'd create some kind of code that I'd put across there that said this is what this HTML file has in it, so I can go back and search through them because you may not be able to search through all these that quick. So anyway, go ahead and continue, Paul.
Yeah, right. So basically what I'd like to do first is just have a quick scan down and apply in my mind, the products to avoid rules. Yeah, so at the moment we've got some Brazilian blowout shampoo. This is shampoo, conditioner. So I'm automatically going to skip that for the moment, and just see what else we've got down here. And it looks like because we're in the beauty categories, a lot of this is coming up. Now, as you say, there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to look at this later on, formulate your own product or go with one of these items. But for now, we're assuming that it's going to be the first few products that we're going to be launching. So I'm going to stick to the principles of going straight past these. I'm hoping we're going to get some other products down the bottom here. Right. Okay, so this is the first non-liquid product, I guess, that looks reasonable. It's a hair therapy wrap, cordless thermal turban heat wrap. Sounds like there could be some electronics in there. So potentially, okay, I'll come back to that. Have a look at this. This is curling tongs, trimmers and clippers. This is a mannequin head. Spare parts. I want to stay clear of spare parts for other products as well. Tattoo liner. Small makeup products. Let's just see what else we've got down here. We've got some more makeup products, more makeup, some brushes. So basically, this is coming up like a lot of makeup or potentially some brushes. Now, a word of advice, if you're going to go with something that goes on the skin or is ingestible, you're better off sourcing from the US, okay, simply because of the rules and regulations stipulate that. So if you're going to try and source something from China that's going to go on your skin, or it's ingestible, as in vitamins or supplements or something like this, do not get that from China. It needs to come from the US. Okay, I'm not sure on the rules and regulations with respect to makeup, but again, it's very easy to get this type of product sourced from the US. When it comes to other products, as in this or this mannequin head, sure, that can come from anywhere. So I'm not sure what these are. So what we have a look now, let's have a look. So we've got the ID here, which is fully interactive. If we click on this, it's going to bring up a new window, and that's going to pull us up to that listing within Amazon itself. Okay, so we've got that product there now, and we'll come back to the report. And we said we were going to have a look at this towel. And let's just have a quick look at this mannequin's head, see what this is all about. So we've got three products there we can have a look at. So this mannequin head is training head with human hair. Looks like I got frozen up for a bit. Hold on. There we go. Right. So let's have a quick look at the listing itself. It's a pretty poor listing in its own right. It's only got 2 images. It's got a pretty poor type. Bullet points could be better, let's face it. But down here we've got the first piece of information from a data analysis point of view. Excuse me. And this is a simple download. It's Keeper. And what you do is once you install that, that comes up on every listing that you have a look at. And it shows you, excuse me, the price history and the BSR. So this looks like it's been very, very steady over the past few months at $37.99, which is a reasonable price. And it's done a pretty good job of keeping down the BSR's bit of a spike down. I'm not sure what's happening there, but it's pretty low. And at the moment, he's sitting around the 3,000 as the main rank. Now, bearing in mind that we know that we're looking for anything under 7,000, so this is pretty good. Okay, but what else is there? It's 3,398. Look, in beauty. Okay, now description is poor to say the least. There's very little information on there. It's got a number of 1-star reviews, but it's reasonable. He's got some good questions. Got some images down here, but let's have a look to see what he's doing. So if we just go into Jungle Scout, pull up the information for this particular listing, you can see that he is, or this seller is selling for $37.99. His main rank, as we just said, is 3,398. He's selling estimated 663 a month, with an estimated revenue of $25,000 a month. Okay, he's got 110 reviews, rated at 4, and this is an FBA. Net fee payout is $27.88. That's minus. You need to take out the cost of the product. Okay, when you're looking at this, so that's not pure profit. That's net profit from what Amazon are going to give you, and then you need to take out COGS, cost of goods sold. Okay, so that's basically where we are there. So let's close that down. Let's go back in and have a look at this. This is a mannequin training head with human hair. I think that's my key term. So what I'm going to do now is have a look at, see what else there is No, put that into the search bar.
That's my girl.
I'll just say that little one of my exes.
Yeah.
Right, all departments, mannequin training head with human hair. Let's have a look. See what this main category is. Oh, a scary one there, look. So we've got a few here, but not that many. Okay, so when I say not that many, if I can come down here, I always like to see how many pages are listed in exactly the same thing. Now, I'll show you a little shortcut in a minute that the smiling Mr. Rob Fortney taught us. So we're on page 2 at the moment. We know we're on page 2 because it's highlighted down there. I like to go to page 6, see what the competition is on page 6. Now, instead of going down to here and go next, 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 waiting for that to load, waiting for that to load, waiting for that to load, you come up to the top. You look at the URL in this header here, and we're looking for the term page equals. Okay, so it's just here on this main URL. So once we got that, it doesn't work on the first page, right? So you need to go to second page at least. Okay, so if we go there and we change the page 2, we just delete that and plug in page 6, hit enter, and that automatically take us to page 6. That will jump directly to page 6. Now on page 6, just like to scan down and just see what we've got. We've got some real scary looking things here.
That may be your improvement on them. Make better looking mannequins.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, set of 2, set of twins, can you? All right, so that's where we are. But it's interesting when you scroll down this. Okay, we've got they're all there or thereabouts the same. They're all human hair, but they're all looking different. Okay, but the interesting thing about this is you have a look over here on the right-hand side. You have a look at the number of reviews that each of these have got. Well, guess what? They haven't got any. Okay, this seller down here, only 10 left in stock. I would assume he's got 27. So it's something going on there with these inventory levels. The 00001. So basically, back here on page 6, no one's selling anything. One review, one review, one review, which is encouraging from, if you're going to get into this point of view, from a seller's point of view. Well, I want to go jump back into page 1 now. Press enter. So I've done the shortcut there, just change that 6 to a 1 again. What I'm going to do now is, what happened there? Let me go back. I must have pressed a button. Right, make sure we're on page 1. Page 1, yes. Now I'm going to run Jungle Scout. To see what the first page is doing. See what the revenue is like. And see what the reviews are like on the first page. Because we know back on page 6, no one's selling anything. So which is encouraging if you want to get into this particular market, into this niche. Okay, so I'm just going to sort this. I'll just leave it where it is because this is the page position that they're showing up in. So the top guy here is he's selling 29,000, got 25, 12, 17, 10, 2.5, 2, 10, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, and 5 at the bottom. So we've got a reasonable amount of spend on the first page for this particular product. I bet page 2 is going to fall off a little bit. Let's extract the next page. Down the bottom here, just extract the following page. And it'll just pull in the data from page 2 without you having to go to page 2. Okay, so you just see that populating now on my super fast internet speed over here. Okay, so we've now got 32 results in this. And again, I haven't filtered or sorted this from large to smallest. So this is the number 1 guy on page 1. and then you've got 16, and then let's go down to page 2, and this is the bottom guy down here. So he's selling 735 on the bottom of page 2. So page 2, as we suspected, is 17 onwards, is basically this lot here. There's not as much money. So we've got 1,000, 2,000, 8,000, 1,000, 7,000, 6,000, 1,600, 1,300, 2,000. So there's not as much money on page 2, but look at the number of reviews. We've got 18, we've got 4, we've got 1 there, we've got 0 reviews. This is a merchant selling this. These are merchant sellers. Okay. The advantage of being an FBA seller is that you get preferential rights and treatment by Amazon over if you were selling it and shipping it yourself. Okay. So, and again, this is good to see. When we're seeing quite a few merchant sellers on that second page, that means that potentially we could leapfrog these if we're selling through FBA, and to jump up to the top of page 2 and potentially onto page 1 quite easily. Because again, look at the number of reviews: 0, 20, 19, 8. How long do you think it's going to take you to get 8 reviews?
Well,
I suspect not long.
Well, it's going to depend on that product's an odd product, so you may take you a minute to get there. But
it's not going to take you 6 months, though, is it?
No, and clearly, people don't care about reviews buying this product.
Not so much. No, I would say, I don't know what the criteria is, so I'm not exactly the right person to talk about when it comes to hair. Let's face it.
Can you
go on?
Won't Jungle Scout let you make it bigger? Maybe not.
I don't think so.
I like the way that this product comes down. In a sense, I like the way the numbers fall on this. I really do. So, I mean, if we could all see it more closely, but that's we're going to need some kind of overall zoom your screen in without some new way. We'll have to come up with some new software.
Yeah, hold on. This does look. Jungle Scout allows me to do that because it's
bigger.
Yeah, there you go.
So I love the way this product. Is that page 2 or is that page 1?
This is the top of page 1 now. But on page 2, you've got all of those merchant sellers, okay, and they're still doing 5,000 to 6,000. So we've got 17 onwards. That is page 2. This is the top of page 2. This guy here. Now, it's a merchant fulfillment, right? He's doing 1,800 a month. Merchant, 1,000 FBA, 2,000, 8,000. This guy down here, 7,000, 6,000.
I like this because the money is spread out enough that, look, I can be on page 2 all day long and make a living.
You can pay the bills. You can pay your phone bill. You can pay your electricity bill. You can pay your car payment. Whatever. It's one of those things. It's one product, pay a bill. If you've got a second product, pay another bill. Now, if you've got 10 products, all of a sudden you're starting to save money and make a serious difference in your life.
Right. I mean, a serious difference. I mean, you got people selling these damn things out of their garage. This guy's selling out of his garage doing 10 grand out of his garage.
Yep. This guy here, look. That he's one of my ex-girlfriends. I'm sure of it.
Man. So one of the things that I just notice all of the time is just this difficulty in which people don't want to pick products. And it's this fear of picking a product. Like every time I do this live, I swear to you, I find products that would absolutely go on a short list I would look at. I would spend more time investing. Like, I mean, I may get off this call today and go look at this product just because if I love the way the numbers come down because there's a guy in there and he's making some money. He's selling his deal. He's doing his, he's making 30 grand a month. And then the next guy's 25. So it's not like one guy. Now I'm a little, but then it drops to 12 and 17, which I like because I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people, 6 people are, so that first amount, that large amount of money is spread up between 6 people. And one of them happens to be merchant fulfilled, which is doing 10 grand a month. And he has a rating that sucks. So look at this. Look at the ratings. 3.5, 3.5, 3.5, 3.5, 3.5, 3.5. There's nobody that has a 4-star rating. So what this says to me, I want you to think about this. Do you think that there's a bunch of ASM people looking at this product right now? You think like they're fixing to release that as the next big thing on ASM?
No, because I think ASM thinks slightly differently, and they'll be looking at the silicone spatulas because there's a higher. They look for the bigger tickets. So, and again, this is why this product is good, because there isn't that many sellers or potential sellers coming along.
Who was it who asked? Somebody asked about using this product. If they have to stay away from these products we find. Well, hell no. Go steal these things. You think you like it? Go out and do it. I don't care. I mean, all of you do it. And let me tell you this. If every single person on this call went and did it, you could probably take over the whole category with people from here. So people are always worried about, what if somebody takes my product? Well, okay, there's 200 other people taking your product. I mean, you're not going to, if you're going to go in the toothpaste business, you can't ignore the fact that if you go to the grocery store, there's 87 things of toothpaste. Well, that's called competition. You're not in this business to try to, it's the fact that you try to get in. So if you're trying to compete with people who have too much competition, so too much is there's, 400 sellers selling this thing and you can't, but here, like, how many sellers are selling this thing?
Well, we know when we get down to page 6, there are people trying to sell it, but they're not physically selling any. So not that many.
Yeah.
So this is basically the process of how to go through looking at the data that you're provided, filtering out that data and trying to analyze the information that you've provided. The next thing to do is go and try and find the source for this product. Okay. But so what do you want to do next, Rob?
Well, so the things that I would talk about next would be, so people are asking some questions. Just keep asking some questions so I can keep up. Would you be comfortable with a product that has such an average review rating? Okay. Now, what that tells me, there's something I'm missing. So what you would do is you would go out and get the review finder out of AmaSuite, and you would go look at all the reviews and find out what the problems with reviews. AmaSuite's review finder will go do that for you. You can go through and find out, well, why are people having problems, and it'll go in and tell you all this thing. Like, that's the best looking one we found so far. My question is if do you buy new hair to put in it, I guess? Like, because if you're cutting their hair, do you buy hair to put back in it? Now, here would be my deal too. Now, I'm a little bit, some people just want to, I guess I was thinking how to phrase that right, but I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to going and trying to sell this other places. You may find a chain of stores that would buy it for you, and if you got it for $12, they'd buy it for $18, sell it for $45, and be happy. You might be able to find a chain of beauty cosmetology schools. If you send out a couple emails to some people during the week, you may be able to find other customers. And some of you may not want to do it. I don't pursue things the way that guys who are trying to make $1 million do. I just don't. My life is more about quality of life and experiences as over I want all this money. If you're interested in owning $1 million business, well, God bless you. I'm not looking in my life. I'm looking to create more time so that I can go do it. So there's a value to my money that is different in my time. So I don't want to sell $1 million ever in this business, because $1 million in sales to me is a full-time job. And I'm not looking for a full-time job. I'm looking to replace the bills that I have now, get out of debt. You know, that was my process. So how can I pay my rent bill? How can I pay my electricity bill? Okay. And you know, I talk about this all the time. Pick a product that will pay your electricity bill. Like, but look how ridiculous that is. So you probably can pick a product that will do your electricity, water, and gas. So that means you need to go out and find a product that will sell $1,000 a month. You know what I'm saying? Like $1,000 a month. You make $300. It pays your electricity, water, and gas if you would want. And then you get another product that pays your cell phone bill. And then, you know, you're working up, how can I pay my house payment? And then hopefully one of those 3 or 4 products that you got isn't doing 1,000, which I'm saying it's not likely. But if you shoot, I always in my businesses, I always thought, how can I didn't never want to be number 1 or number 2, because number 1 and 2 are always just battling. And even number 3, I'm okay to be Fanta Pop, you know, like, so there's Coke, Pepsi, RC, and Fanta or whatever. I'm okay to be Kroger brand private labeled. You know what I mean? Like, I'm okay because I can make money. I don't have to have huge advertising. And no one's looking for Rob who's selling Big K Cola. You know, and so I'm okay with that because I'm under the radar. Nobody's coming and trying to steal my business. I mean, how many people are, you know, I mean, you know, how many people are trying to, you know, smash your, I mean, this guy looks like he's got some problem trying to smash your, you know, your seller rating, but I doubt these people are attacking him. It just sends to me that they're, you know, they're doing, you know, so could you figure out how to fix these problems? I don't know. You have to look at it. You know.
Well, this is where your inspection service comes in, you know, because you have a look at the negative reviews or the 3, 2s, and 1 stars. Have a look at what the negative points are. Put that onto your inspection criteria checklist, because bearing in mind that those that you don't know, an inspection company would have, and they do have, a standard checklist. Okay, if you want them to go and check anything specific, let them know. Let them know. That's not a problem. So in this case, your dear Mr. Inspection Company, could you please check that this one here, for example, the length check, could you please check that the product is actually 24 inches long? Okay, because unfortunately it's only 16. All right, so we don't want that. All right. So you basically go through this and make your own checklist up for the inspection company. You know, so look at the spacing of the hair. I noticed somewhere. It sheds a lot. Can you please do a pull test on the hair? Make sure that it doesn't come out. Or if more than 2 strands come out per pinch, then it's a potential fail. All right. So that's just one thing you need to be aware of. And this is one way of overcoming some of these negative issues, i.e. improving the product. Okay, check out what the negative reviews are. Talk to your supplier and say, right, these are some of the issues that other people have seen with other products. I want to make sure that we are selling a top grade, first class, the best in class. Work with me, right? And you should be able to crush it because you can overcome some of these problems. Okay.
So, you know, I would, you know, I think you'd have to find some nicer products. But the problem is this is a $45 mannequin, and the problem is that, you know, to be able to get probably a great mannequin is probably $75 or $100.
Let's have a look at the price fall on these. So 40, 46, 37, 46, 35, yeah, 49, 75.
Look at the one that's well, go see what the one that has a 4 point. Well, see, you see, he's got 13. The guy that has the 4.5 rating, right? He's selling 2,200. Like, that's what I want you guys to get, man. I love products that sell $3,000 a month. I don't ever have to look at them. I just got to make sure the product's right, and then I'm done. You know, I mean, if you're messing with the product all the time, Like, you got a job, guys. I mean, maybe doing this would be easier than your regular job, but up until the point when you get to do that, you can't add in things that are going to have to be monitored 24/7. And a product that does, listen, just because a product, listen, I've seen products do $30,000 a month, okay? $30,000, $50,000 a month, and a couple things change, new competitors come, and all of a sudden you're doing 10. So you can't all of a sudden rely on one product. I wouldn't quit your job if I had one product doing 50,000 a month. I just would not quit my job for that. You got a one doing 50, so that means you're making 15 grand. I appreciate that, but you better save yourself some money up. You better save like 6 months of it, because to do, first of all, the problem is that most people who start in this business don't have enough money to be able to do a scale anyway. And a scale means it's simple. If you do simple math, it says if I sell $10,000 a month and it costs about 30% to get my product, that means I got to have 3 months of supply minimum online and really be able to order the 4th month. So I have to order 90 days. And then when I get to 60 days, I got to order another 90 days. So I'm ahead of the game, because stuff coming from China might take 60 days. Well, that means you have to front the inventory first. So if you have to front the inventory, you're doing 10,000. That means you got to have $10,000 to $15,000 to do $10,000 a month. So you have to build that up. Well, and that's the problem with a large scale product. If you sell a product that sells $20,000 a month, you got to have how much in product? You got to have $6,000 for that 1 month. And if you have to have 3 months in advance, which you would, you're going to have what? So 6 times 3 is 18. And the truth is you probably need 4 months. And that means you're probably going to have to be ordering every 30 to 40 days if you're doing that volume. And even if you get ahead of that volume. So do you plan on only selling that 20,000 a month? Well, you have to sell another, you're going to have to go, well, what if I increase? So you're really having to buy, $25,000 in inventory to do $20,000 a month. So that means you have to have that much liquid. That means you got to be able to go give it to someone in China and then wait for it to arrive and then wait for it to sell while your money's in there. It's like having a savings account that hopefully you can sell. I mean, that's the whole process. So remember, to do these big numbers, you got to have initial money to invest to be able to get to big numbers. So that's why I kind of encourage people to forget worrying about that. So, I mean, we're not going to search for any more products today. I'm just going to give you my last bit of encouragement. Someone's calling me on Skype. To give you that last bit of encouragement, which is, first of all, break your stuff down. Quit trying to suck this whole giant bunch of knowledge in at one time. Don't put yourself in this deal where you're trying to learn every single thing. The only thing you need to learn right now, it doesn't matter how you're gonna ship it over here. It doesn't matter, it will shortly, but you don't need to know how to write a listing right now because you don't have a listing yet to write. So what are you practicing writing a listing right now? What are you watching videos and webinars about writing a listing right now? That's not something you even need right now. So if you're spending time doing something that you don't need, you are for sure 100% not going to get done, because the only thing that needs to be done is the next step, which is find a product, which is search product that day. So do not add anything else. Don't go to 47 other webinars about this and that and all of these things. Get yourself and be focused on one little group of things. Our whole lives we heard about, well, set a goal, get a goal 5 years down the road and work 5 years down the road. And I appreciate that. I just want to break my goals down into much smaller entities, because the smaller the entity is that's the step I have. And so that's why, if you haven't heard about me talk about the Magic 3, go look at that at the website at amazongorillaz.com and listen to the the podcast that I did about that. By the way, Paul, how many episodes of podcast do we have now?
We've got 6. We're building, and we're basically going to do a podcast launch in the coming soon future.
Soon future. I'm gonna We're gonna bust Paul's butt this week and get him done.
Yeah.
He's out gallivanting around with his kids. Like, where did you go stay at?
Now we went up to Subic, which is the old. I'll tell you what it is. It's the old World War II American Air Base over in the Philippines, and they were there up until I think 1971, where a volcano exploded and just covered the place in ash. So the Americans thought, "So this, we're out," and that was the last time they were there. But up there, they've got natural rainforest. So we were up through the rainforest, looking at the monkeys climbing around, like you're experiencing now, Rob. But they've got a safari park up there. So we went into the safari park and had a look at the tigers and the lions and crocodiles and blimey, you name it. But it was a long. I think we got up at 2:00 in the morning to go at this. We've got bearing in mind we've got 4 kids to sort out. So we shot up to Subic and didn't get back until 1:00 in the morning, and it was a very, very tiring day. But the kids loved it. The kids absolutely loved it. So which is great. We've got these big. We've got some world record holding animals over here, fruit bats. It's like the biggest fruit bats in the world, and you see a ton of these flying around the top of the forest. It was like really cool. So yeah, that's where I've been over the weekend, gallivanting around.
Yeah. Yes. So I've got some cool news that I have a group of people. So next week I will be doing this live webinar from a cafe in Thailand, and it's called the Kauai Cafe, and we're going to be doing this webinar here live, and we're going to do it with live people in the audience, basically. So I've rented a cafe, and we're going to have, I don't know, we'll see who comes. It might end up with me and some other person, or I don't know, but we're going to actually try to do this live on the air with live people instead of us just being here, so people will be able to ask questions here, and that kind of stuff. So that's kind of a neat thing. So next Monday morning or Sunday night we're going to be doing this live and doing a product search live. I guess by your comments, how many of you guys in here have the super product selector? If you don't have the super product selector, give a shout out in there.
I actually uploaded that onto the Amazon folder, on our S3 folder last night. You can download it there. I've also given you the Amazon Gorillaz website. We've got a lot of information on there. We've got, like Rob was saying, we've got the Magic 3. We've got some more training videos. We've got some basic guides. There's also an introduction to the boot camp, which is a sort of paid up membership area that I know a few of you here are in. And again, we meet up twice a week to do some live training, live coaching calls on that. And inside the library, inside the membership area, is an extensive library. It's really cool. So it's a quick overview on the website there, AmazonGorillaz.com. But when we got the Amazon Gorillaz admin, I just put in a link there. The super product selector, that's on the s3.amazon. You can also find a copy of it in our website as well.
Yeah. I'm going to show you guys. Well, so at the end of the day, I guess the few things we want to sum up today, which is, hold on, the things we want to follow up today is hey, listen, AmaSuite is a great way to search. If you don't have AmaSuite and you don't want to buy AmaSuite, I get it. So how else can you do it? Hey, Paul, if you want to real quick, why don't we, if you don't have the super product selector, why don't you pull it up real quick and you can show them. I think this is a very cool document we created. Is it the end all beat all? No, but I'll tell you this, it asks 30 questions about your product, 30. And if any product you put through does well enough, if you ask 30 questions about it and it, and it creates a score, there's some likelihood that it has a hell of a possibility of a product that you might want to source. And so that's what this is. I've basically created over 30 questions that you could score and gives you a rating on that product. And it's just a great way to eliminate stuff. So you don't need the software. Now, what we do is we take the software, we take the results of the software and put it in there, but you can manually do it as well and put it in there. So do you have that you can screen share that?
Yeah.
David does AmaSuite gigs on Fiverr. That's funny. So we lost Paul.
Hey, here we go.
Yeah, hook up
I froze then, didn't I?
Yeah, hook up that big time internet over there in the Philippines. I got better internet. Well, I don't have better internet right now because I don't pay for it. But like, let me see. I wonder what I'm doing right now. So my little gimmick, by the way, with my batteries, you know, it works sometimes and it doesn't. If you haven't heard, I'm trying to create different ways to increase my
hack the system.
Hack the system. And I'm, you know, and I haven't hacked it much, but you know, I've been getting some decent uploads. I'll tell you about my upload and download speed. So bottom line is get out there and start searching. Now, use this thing, and then as well as, you know, I had somebody on the phone early this morning. That's my other problem. I'm staying up, talking to people in America, as Paul would know. He used to stay up and talk to me all the time. Well, now all of a sudden you're up, it's 3 a.m. and you're like exhausted because then I got to go do daytime stuff. But you know, get out there and look. And then what I did the other day with someone is I said, man, quit just pounding your brain in. You're spending too much time doing this. How about this? Go just sit on Amazon and go shopping and go find 10 products that you think, woo, I'm rocking and rolling this morning. I'll tell you what my speed is here in a second. Go out there and find products that you like. Find 10 of them. Go out there and find 10 products. These are 10 products I would sell. I like this product. I would give this as a gift to someone for Christmas. I mean, I want you to think about that. And then, you know, and then get there and then go analyze those products if you just need a break from what you're doing. Hey, by the way, so here's my speed. My download speed is 17 megabytes per second, and my upload 7.63.
What?
Yeah.
Here we go. This will make you all jealous. All right. This will make you all jealous. This is yeah. Right. I'm gonna go with where are we? Yeah. Just start. This is gonna knock your socks off, guys.
Hey, by the way, we've completed today's webinar. If you wanna, we're gonna stick around. If you're interested in seeing any pictures.
Well, what I'm going to do is I've got the super product selector up, so I'm just messing around here. So
well, that's not too bad.
Yeah, that was a quick spike. You know, it's settling down now. 3, go on, 3.5. Come on. You can do it. I was talking to my buddy. He was in South Korea for a while. He's back in the States now, and he showed me it was a 97. I'm thinking, oh my life! No wonder. He said, "Where are you? Have you uploaded that yet?" I said, "No, wait. I'm still waiting to upload." This is it. This is my stable. All right, I've got a faster one. I've got a 5 meg, but that keeps dropping in and out. What are you like? Look at that! Look.
Are you mailing letters?
I might as well be. Look at that. I can download 3.27, upload point, as in 0.68. Now you know. Welcome to the Philippines.
Esteban, I'll have you on now to talk about where you're at, because guess what? If you've done anything, if you made the decision to buy a product, you're great, because you're the most important person in someone who's trying to do this business. If you've actually stepped off the deal and you're actually doing stuff to get it, you're ahead of the guy who's doing step 1. Am I lost here?
No, that's perfect. That's perfect.
So if
Esteban would love to have you on. We've had a number of people on and just talking. Yeah, thanks, Matt, for rubbing it in. 56 there, look. But yeah, we've had a number of people on talking about their experience, how they got going, and the ups and downs. It's everybody goes through it. So,
Jamal asked a question about traveling. I don't have. Okay, so here's the question, real quick, and I'll answer this. This is kind of off topic, but we are kind of freestyling it right now. So PayPal, I don't have any problem with PayPal banking accounts of showing up. I use PayPal. I watch PayPal come in. I have a PayPal debit card that I use out of my PayPal account, and I use a PayPal debit card. I use my banking. I would suggest you do online banking in a company. Like if I want to send somebody a check, literally my online banking will send them a physical check to their mailbox if I want. So I can pay any bill. And I have finally figured out the phone. Last night I got the final piece. So I've been using this junk generic. Instead of my Samsung, I've been using this knockoff Samsung. Again, Chinese knockoff. Looks like a Samsung, walks like a Samsung, but it is not a Samsung. I mean, it's so slow when you type. I hate it. But, you know, my regular, this is still a Note 3. It's not very old. But so now here's how I've done it. I have a Skype account with a Skype number. And a Skype number costs about $5 a month. But you set it for wherever you want in the world. You could have a Thai number. You could have an American number. So most phones that are smartphones now are what they call dual band. So it has CDMA and GSM. And that's probably more technical than I need to say. But they're just basically two different ways. Like Sprint is different than a T-Mobile or an AT&T. They operate on a different band. So my phone's dual band. So now what I've done is I'm taking the SIM card out of this and putting it in here, so my Sprint stays live. Well, the problem is now to get calls on my Sprint number. So what I've done is I've forwarded my Sprint to my Skype number, and so then Skype calls me and it costs me nothing. So I'm able to now make calls and receive calls from America totally free. Well, not free. I've got phone service, but I don't have to spend extra money to communicate, and people can call me on my regular number now without it costing me $1 million. By the way, yesterday I experienced the first, like, exactly what I wanted to accomplish by being here is that yesterday I called the phone company. I'm like, listen, man, I'm not getting my text messages. There's no text messages coming in. And he's like, well, let me look. And so he looks and he says, well, you don't have any, waiting in the funnel to come through because you haven't any. So you don't have any. There's no reason for you. I mean, everything's live. If, someone sends you a text message, it will come through. And then I'm like, well, that means the magic has happened, which is no one's calling me. No one calls me. It's the greatest thing in the world. No one calls me. No one text messages me. No one's calling me. Now, I know that most people want that, but I don't want that. I used to spend 17,000 text messages 1 month. I used 17 gigs of data 1 month. So I've done crazy amounts of time on a phone, and now my phone doesn't ring. That's the greatest thing in the world. So anyway, I'm figuring out the phone service, figuring out those things. So I don't have, listen, if you're going to travel at all, just know that it's just not like it is in America. So it's definitely a process of learning and getting, anyway, go ahead and do that. I'm going to pull up these pictures. If anybody wants to stick around, if you're, it's kind of like college class, you're free to go or you're free to hang out and we're chatting. So, if you have any questions still, I'd be more than happy to end it. We're just chatting now and about what we're doing. I'm trying to pull up some pics. I'll show you guys kind of what the pictures look like. Go ahead and tell them about the super product inspector, Paul. I know you had that up and I got back in there goofing around about my speed.
Yeah, sure. Esteban, I'll be interested in to know if you can write apps. David's asking, I'm just going to flick back. David's asking, where did I live before the Philippines? I lived in Shanghai for 4 years in China. Before Shanghai, yeah, I was in England. Right.
Well, Esteban, we're glad to have you, man. I think you will be. I think if you can get into the groups that we do and participate in what we do, Esteban, you will find a killer little community of people that we kind of all associate with. We do this every Sunday. This is kind of my new thing. I just I just knew that people were having this problem, and I figured if we just got together every Sunday and we just search for products like we're doing. I don't want it to be all stuffy and this is a webinar.
Can anybody hear me? I thought it was my end that froze because I've got that super fast internet. But yeah, Rob has frozen. Sometimes when it happens, that's my end. Yeah, we lost Rob. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I'll carry on. Well, what we've got over here is this is the Super Product Selector. It comes in a number of different tabs down the bottom. The first tab is the IVT, which is the initial viability test. This is where I was applying some of those filters. This is where I got some of those numbers from. You know, basically what you do is once you've found a potential product that you're looking to put on a short list, this is where you actually add some of that information. Okay, good. So it looks like I've got the reins. So on that particular mannequin head, for example, we already searched for the main rank below 12,000. Well, we went down to 7,000, which is cool. Price, this is where we got the 17 to 50. And again, we can adjust these. This is just guidelines. But we know that if we hit all of these, then we know we've got a potential product that can go on a short list for further investigation. Okay, so we've got 3 out of the 5 best-selling products of 100, between 100 and 750. Well, that mannequin head definitely had that because everybody was below that, which is even better. Less than 150 competitors with the top 3 keywords. We didn't search into that too much, but that one particular keyword, we know there were less than 150 competitors. If you go to page 10, for example, and there's 16 on each page, there's 160 competitors. We went to page 6 and there was nobody selling anything, or maybe 2 people selling something. So competition is great from our point of view, from a seller's point of view, potentially getting into that particular market. Fraud products were less than 5,000. Yes, that was the case. So basically what you do is you go through this. On the left-hand side, you put the score 0 or 10. If it meets it, it's a 10. If it doesn't meet the criteria, it's a 0. And then put the physical information in here. All right. So as you go through this, check each of the checklists or the checkpoints, look at the criteria and fill in the 0 to 10 or 0 or 10. Okay, and then put your physicals in the right-hand side. And as you come down to the bottom, if you're going to see a score of more than 100, because this will automatically populate. Okay, if you get more than 100, move on to the next stage. Now, the next stage is the product champion. Now, I won't fill all this in because it takes a bit of time to do that. But a product champion, we start to look at the sourcing side of it. Hey, he's back. I can't hear you though, Rob. We can see you, but we can't hear you.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So,
that was internet going down.
Yeah.
Hey, that's one of the secrets we've learned since we've been doing this, which is if we both are signed on in different locations with the same account, one goes down, it stays live. So that's one of those things we've at least figured out.
Yeah. In the early days, it's like the whole webinar stopped, and it was not ideal.
By the way, I think we need to go through. I think we've got a huge thing coming up, which is my 100th webinar that I've done, or at least live chat online. 100 of them, you know, and they average about at least an hour, probably more. So there's 200 hours, 150 hours worth of videos that I've done.
Yeah, that's a lot of information. And sometimes we cover the same type of topic, but there's always the different outcome. But there's some absolute gems in some of the information that we've provided, so which is cool. Well, on the second one, we've got the product champion. Basically, what we're doing again, just go through each of these checkpoints and complete the score. Now, the perfect score here will be 12, and some of these are weighted. Obviously, you know, a 12 has got a more importance rating or weighted factor than a score of 5. So we're looking at the supply, in other words, sourcing side of things. Supply will agree less than MOQ. Limit your initial investment between $1,000 and $3,500. So if your supplier is able to come down, now when we're searching on Alibaba, you'll see sometimes that it's listed as MOQ is 500 or MOQ is 3,000. If you go and reach out to these suppliers, you can negotiate with them. Say, yeah, great, fantastic. I love your product. It's looking good. I would like to go and discuss things a little bit further. With respect to the MOQ, that's not a major problem, but this is a new venture for us. So what we need to do is test your product, make sure it is viable. So if you can send us 200 to start with, we'll test that out, and then we'll place the orders, and away we go. Most of the time, everyone's okay with that. Some of the time, they won't budge. They'll dig their heels in and say, no, it's our MOQ is 3,000. That's it. If you don't like it, go away. Well, guess what? Go away, go and find someone else, go and talk to somebody else. You know, you're not tied to any one particular supplier. You know, there is no love lost in this particular business, and that's natural. And it's very natural for you to negotiate with the Chinese. They're born negotiating. Okay, they're used to it. I lived there for 4 years. Like I said, I was in Shanghai. I lived there for 4 years, and I've been dealing with the Chinese for about 20 years now. And it's part of the way of life. You go down the wet market and you haggle for a lettuce, you know, and whatever the case may be.
I don't spend a lot of time, by the way, I don't spend a lot of time haggling here. And I know I probably should, but like I'm not haggling with someone whose entire life in a week they work for an entire day and they make 300 baht a day, which is like $9. So that means they work all day in the heat and sun, you know, and then they get off work and they go out to some market to try to sell some stuff. I'm not arguing with that guy about 60 cents, you know, or $3. Well, that's $100. Well, okay, here's your 100 and I'm moving on, you know. I'm not here to beat people, you know.
Yeah, true. But as the Chinese, the Chinese to Chinese, they will naturally do that. You know,
I don't think the Chinese people you're ordering a product from, you shouldn't, but outside of that, you know.
So, yeah, you're right. So basically, as you're coming through this, you just look at each of these criteria and just mark it down the best you can. And again, put the physicals in the right-hand side. Put the actuals in the right-hand side. Now, again, this will automatically add up your score. And if your score is below 50, it's not a viable product. Walk away. Forget about it. Move on. Think about something else. If your score is between 51 and 60, there are possibilities, but it potentially be hard work. Okay, potentially be hard work to get that product up and running. 61 to 70, it's a pretty good product. It's a nice little looking product. So, if you've got 71 to 80, you've found yourself a product champion. Keep it quiet, move on, and you've got yourself a winner. If you've got anything over 81 and above, crack out the champagne, as it were, because you've just found yourself one of those gold nuggets. Not gold dust, this is a gold nugget you've found. Okay, so basically once you've filled in all of those first two criteria, so you've done your IVT score over here, you've filled all of this information in, you come over to the product champion, all of this information here you've completed and all of that data is completed, you then press the record information. Okay, once you've done that, that will take you over into the summary report, and on the first row here it will have all of your data. So you then go back in and have a look at your second product and your third product and your fourth product, and you do exactly the same here. So basically what we're doing is evaluating a short list. We're creating and generating a short list within here, within this simple spreadsheet. And what this product summary does, that allows you to look at both the IVT compare like for like, product champion score like for like, so you have product 1, product 2, product 3, product 4, and from this you'll be able to rank your shortlist with respect to, yes, I like that one better, I'm going to go with that one first. If that one doesn't work out for whatever reason, as in you go back to the supplier and supplier changes their minds, well, actually, first time I told you, yes, I could make it for this price and the MOQ would be this, but I've changed my mind now. All right, move on. Go to your second product because you know that these are good-looking products. Otherwise, it wouldn't be on your list. Okay, so that is basically where we are from that point of view. Once you've got that, you can also go into the estimated calculator. Okay, and again, you're looking at just completing some top 2 information. So you're basically looking at your top 2 of your shortlist, and again, you just fill out all of the data. And from here, you'll be able to analyze what is your best looking product and just go with it, and just go with it. The thing is, you don't need to be great to start. You just need to be starting to be great. In other words, take action, move on, stop over analyzing, get the data. The data's staring you in the face. If you like the look of it, take action, move on. Okay, so if you're interested in this super product selector, again, drop the link in. Like I say, it's on our Amazon S3 account. Download it there. By all means, help yourself.
You cut out there for a minute, but hey, can you, while we're talking, can you go grab the link from the YouTube channel, which has the walkthrough of that super product selector?
Yes, I can.
So if you guys don't have it or even don't have this, we've got a great video where I walk through the whole thing. So you can do that. I'm gonna, so yeah, David asked about having some guests who would be successful, and I was talking about one of our people who has been around since the beginning, and now he's disappeared on us. I got to dig him up, but he sells. He bought $500 worth of product. He may even bought $300 worth of product on AliExpress, had it shipped in, and now he's full-on private labeling the product, and he's doing about $7,000 a month on that product right now. People go, well, that's not 10,000. That's not. Listen, I think it's the greatest thing on earth. He's now making, he's selling 6, he's selling 3, he's making $2,000 extra a month in his life from something he started out with a $300 investment. If you think there's all these investments out there where you can invest $500 and turn it into $2,000 a month, well, you lost your mind, because if that was the case, I would absolutely be a millionaire. But so, he's doing amazing numbers. He started out little deal with what we've talked about all the time. Get yourself something on AliExpress from wholesale. Order yourself $500 to $750 of product. go test market. If it works, then jump up and do the next thing. I think we've got several people here who've done that, and so it can be done. It's done every day, but you got to quit trying to have a goal of making $10,000 out of the gate. Your goal is I'm going to pay my electricity bill this month, and then work from that point up and add a product, add a product, add a product. People are like, well, I only sell 3 a week or 4 a week or 5 a week, 1 a day. Well, 1 a day adds up to 30 days. That's 30 products. 30 products that all make 10 is 300. See what I mean? Like, it happens, and you're multiplying times, times multiple days. And when you multiply by multiple days, that turns into something. So, all right, hey, I'm gonna, if you guys, we're done. I mean, I'll still continue to ask questions, but if any of you guys, I'm gonna share some pictures. I know some of you guys have been watching what I've been doing, so I'm gonna share some pictures. I don't know if that, let me try that again. You got any questions, just keep putting them in the sidebar.
If you're interested in joining one of the mastermind groups that we have on Facebook, I'm just going to put in there the Amazon Gorillaz sellers.
Can you see that, Paul?
Not yet. It's a black screen.
Right. Should be coming.
Yes, now we've got it. We had it.
I came off of it. There you go.
Yep, that's good.
All right, so these are just some pictures I've been taking around town. This is like a 15, this temple was built in 1521. Like, yeah, that's my lunch when I was just riding down the road. I stopped in and took some pictures of this. This is the night bazaar where last night I was looking for products. I'm sourcing. I'm always sourcing. Temples. Like, just this was another night market. You can see how busy it was. This is like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. People don't leave the house, I guess, because it's so hot in the other times of the year. They don't leave the house until later in the evening. It's kind of odd. Like 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock, the whole world kind of explodes. This temple, like I said, was built in 1500.
Jamel's asking the question: have we moved any of our products out to Shopify or any other e-commerce platforms? Not as yet, but it's on the cards at some point early part of next year. That's one of the things that we'll be looking at doing.
Right, and I want
one of the other things that we're going to do is we're going to get a whole course on, or a whole section on, expanding into Europe, and that's going to be Q1 of next year. We're going to be introducing that. See, that looks really cool. I love all of that stuff, Rob.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I know I'm spanning through it quickly. That's just and like, oh, so people are wondering, well, why didn't you like Bangkok? That's Bangkok. Why do you like Bangkok? Because that's what it looks like. And imagine that smells like sewer. Now, by the way, that's a side road. It doesn't all look like that, but like that, if you want me to give you an impression of what Bangkok is, it's that. Woo!
That's just like a black screen. Can't see it.
Oh.
It's not loading, though. Have you got any thoughts on Amazon removing the verified badge on promo reviews? I had a quick read up on that last night.
Doesn't like
it. Doesn't like that one particular photograph, does it?
That was one of my favorite shots. you need to see this. It's great. There I am. Oh, there I am.
Hey.
Got this one. There you
Jamal,
go.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about it at the moment. It's I only read about it last night. That's a nice shot, isn't it? You can't complain about that, can you?
Yeah, that was my balcony shot. Like, it looks like it's out of a movie, but that was actually about 2.5 weeks ago. That's where I was hanging out at.
Yeah. We done a call there while you were there, and the monkeys and climbing up and down in the background there, weren't they?
That's what the water looks like in Thailand and the beaches. Hey, look at that guy.
Yeah, that's cool.
Crazy colorful.
Yeah.
Beautiful, crazy colors. It's spring here. It's like, so if you see up here at the top, there's a Buddha. And what you do is you like, I got some new lenses for my cell phone that I've been using. Like, there are Buddhas everywhere. Like,
yeah.
tons and tons of them. Oh, there it is, my balcony again. Like, it looks like a scene out of a...
James Bond.
There you go. Like, when I arrived at the island, Koh Chang, that's what when I walked into the hotel, that's what it looked like. That's what I came into.
And you thought to yourself, a little piece of paradise.
Right. Especially if you just came from that alleyway, which I had.
Yeah, true.
Bangkok. To me, that represents Bangkok. To me, it seems like it's a Vietnam movie where they're landing on roofs and they're taking you out of Bangkok. More temples. I mean, they spend some time. This is the laying down Buddha. This Buddha is like, I'm about the size of that ear. You can see there's someone's head, so you can see how long this thing is.
It's about 30, 40 foot long, isn't it?
Oh, no, it's longer than that. It's 100 feet long.
Yeah. Ooh.
And let me tell you, there's a monk. I don't know what we're doing with that. It's wedding. There's a monk, and like,
yeah.
you know, people do. I mean, they believe, they pray. I've never seen a group of people pray so hard. Man, you know, they're praying to this statue, which represents God to them, I guess. I'm not Buddhist, and not in any way taking it. I just notice how people act. And the people here, they pray. I mean, I think if people in America would just pray as hard as these people prayed to whatever God you believe in or whatever, man, these people pray. I mean, you watch them and they're down on their knees, just with their hands, you know, just praying hard. Like, and I'm just impressed by that. I don't, you know, you could agree or disagree whether they're doing the right or wrong thing. I don't care about that. But like, when you like get down and you really think about, you know, intensive prayer, like they do. And so regardless of what it is, their faith, man, they whatever they believe in, which I can tell you this place has a unbelievable amount of optimism. Everybody believes that they're getting what they deserve right now and that there's only good things coming. And so that's where that peace comes here. And that's why I dig it here. Any other questions anybody might have before I go on to my day? It's 11 o'clock.
How long can you stay as a visitor in Thailand? Jamal's thinking about coming over.
Well, they changed some of the stuff right now, but the bottom line is you could get on a plane today and come here and they give you a 30-day visa as soon as you get off the plane. And you don't have to do anything prior to getting here. They'll just give you a visa. So 30 days, and then you can get a 30-day extension. So that's 60 days. If you want to stay longer, you got to fly out of the country and come back. So there's some hoops you got to jump through. As of November the 15th, what was happening is all these kids were coming here, and they were just walking across the border and maybe staying for a night and coming back. Well, they're trying to prevent that. So they've made it a little more hard to, you know, but here's the thing about the Thai government. The Thai government will change their mind in 10 seconds. Oh, we're going to do this. And then they don't do this. And they switch and a lot. But at the end of the day, I mean, you can fly out. I would never want to stay here past March anyway. So I have a ticket on the 19th. If I stayed, it would only be till March because it's it gets hotter than Hades, and then they burn the rice field, so the smog is horrific then. So if I stayed, I would be flying out, you know.
Come to the Philippines.
Yeah, the Philippines. Like I can't imagine. Like, so I'm looking at in the future possibly going to Europe and going to Sofia, Bulgaria.
That's always good.
I'm working on
if you apply to get into the Amazon Gorillaz sellers Facebook group, we will go through that and periodically accept good-looking people. No, seriously. No, if you want to join us, more than welcome.
Oh yeah, if any of you guys all want to come over here, I'll host you like a crazy person. Not really like a crazy man. I'll host you in a minute, I guess is what I mean. So if you want to come over and hang out in Thailand, I got you. I mean, I'm probably not going to put you up, but I can get you good digs for about $25 a night at a nice hotel. So
good.
The temperature is crazy nice right now. About 73 or 4 at night now. During the day, the humidity's down. I'm getting ready to go on a overnight stay with some monks that live, tribal monks that live in the mountains.
Oh, that'll be good.
Yeah. And go whitewater rafting and kayaking on a river in Thailand. Yeah, what are you doing today? Oh, I'm going to stay out with, you know, a village that hasn't changed in 500 years and hang out with a shaman who does nothing but have focus on prayer all day. I don't, you know, that could be cool. I ate that.
Cheers, David.
Go ahead, Dan.
Take care, David's out.
Hey, check it out, guys. Hey, listen, I know this stuff goes on sometimes, and we're just talking, chatting like a bunch of buddies drinking beers at the bar. And, so that's what we're doing. So,
things coming up in the future, from our point of view, things that are coming up in the future from our point of view. We're going to carry on doing this on a Sunday, which is cool. We're going to look at different techniques as well. It's not just searching through the AMA data. AMA Suite, they've got a number of different pieces. Well, they've got four different pieces of software within AMA Suite itself. One of those is product. Where's it? Product review. Can't remember what it's called.
Well, Review Finder goes out and it actually searches your products that you like and looks for stuff that you can kind of show weakness in a product. It's kind of what I feel like.
It's Product Inspector. That's the one I was looking for. We're going to potentially use that. We're going to have a look at doing that. Which is cool. We've got a number of guests coming up to be confirmed. To be fair, to be confirmed. No set dates on that. We've got another opening for the boot camp coming up. That's coming up soon. So if anyone's interested in joining us on the boot camp, we're going to go through that, explain what that is all about, give you the inside knowledge, have a look inside the boot camp. We'll talk about that. And that's going to be on the 1st of December. Hopefully we've got some pay-per-click information coming up. So yeah, so it's all good. It's all good.
Well, we're going to get to our days. You get to bed, people in America, people in Asia. Have a great day today. Get out in the sunshine because it's probably sunshiny in most of Asia right now because it's not the monsoon season.
Yeah, it's cool. It's 86 degrees and it's a little bit overcast, but yeah, it's cool. It's nice.
Well,
10 minutes past midday.
I don't even know what it is. I don't even know what the temperature here is, but I'm sure it's 80 something. And there you go. Well, rock stars, go out and make something happen this week. We appreciate you guys coming in. Esteban, we're glad that you showed up today. We do this every Sunday. Go join the Amazon Gorillaz Sellers Group. I've been a little inactive here for the last 3 weeks just because I've been traveling all over the world.
Jamel's just shared his snapshot of his today's sales. Today's sales, $1,579. How awesome is that?
Jamal.
100 units sold. That's a nice little milestone for you.
Well, Jamal needs to come. Jamal needs to come and share with other people his stuff too. We need to have you on as a guest just to share and open up and just tell some of the things you've done and why, where you started. So that may be the deal. Why don't you private message me, Jamal? I'd love to chat with you and maybe share some stuff in our private group and have you maybe come to our small group and talk with them. All right, guys. Hey, Jamal, make sure Jamal, you message me, Rob Fortney Jr., and make sure we can touch base. I'd love to talk with you. And like I said, maybe have you come talk to our small groups. All right, guys, I'm out. Have a great day.
Excellent.
Go, Gorillaz. Remember, the only place you need to start is right now. So get out there and do something. Bye.
Laters. Bye-bye now.